We've got our two Rhode Island guys down here. In the middle, we've got Craftis.
Hello, everybody.
And, of course, we have Pugwest.
Hi, guys.
All right. So we're going to do a little Q&A session. We have some questions prepared. We're going to ask our invited smashers here some questions. Going to get to know these guys a little better and attempt to have a fun time. All right. La Luna right now on my left. So one of the highlights of my season as a spectator of Smash was your run at Evo this year. It seemed like you were in losers the whole time, culminating that big win in Leffen. What is it like? What is life after Evo like? What is it like showing up to tournaments after you've made such a big run into top 8 at a super major like that?
It still feels the same. Actually, that was one of the best runs I ever had from losers. Even though I've done losers before, I just never did it from top 64 going in. People were really happy. They saw my potential, and I grinded out that whole month before Evo and the weekend of Evo. But it still feels the same. And when I streamed or was on Twitter, people gave me a lot of feedback, and they supported me. And even my closest friends, like DJ Nintendo, D1, the Cat, Anti, PB&J, EE, they all were happy for me. And G Money too. So it was cool.
That's good. Let me do a second question for you right now. Mm-hmm. So I think one of my favorite parts, personally, of watching Smash Melee in particular, I mean, a part of the thing being Melee being offline, so characters don't get patched, and the reason we have the gods, the great players stick around.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my favorite things. You get attached to your favorite players, and you get to Mango Nation, for example. And so you've got the good Melee players, but then you have that next level where you have Melee personalities.
Yeah.
And I feel after Smash Summit 3, you ascended into being a personality in this game. Talk about you've been playing forever. Mm-hmm. You've been playing since what, 08? Before that?
Nah, I'm a hybrid. I started in 2010.
2010, okay. You've been out here for the better part of a decade. Mm-hmm. Once you get invited to Summit and you become a meme, you become a Smash personality. What is that like?
It feels good because it's you always want to win and stuff, but sometimes it just gets the best of you. You can't win everything. So you just can't only rely on just coming to an event and say, I got to win, and don't talk to anybody. Because then you don't grow as a person outside of your name, outside of your alias name or your alter ego. So I like playing and also having my personality. And also, since growing up in New York City, kind of in rough neighborhood, whatever, all you had was food and dancing and people to hang out with. So I always cherish those moments, and I bring it into my gameplay. Sure, I'm going to sit down and play, but at the end of the day, I'm just not going to just go off somewhere the whole day and not, interact with people. So being a personality is actually something important in life. It kind of leaves, a imprint in, your history. What have you brought to the community besides just sitting down and playing? Sometimes just talking to people on Twitter, just giving them recognition that'll just make their day happy. Today, I wrote a tweet today, and I said, wake up, wash your face, you're behind, and today is an important day, so make sure whatever you got to do to accomplish, just do it. And people love to hear that, see what's the other side for someone to this. People love seeing other people's sides rather than just playing.
Good. Sounds affirming. Yeah. All right, let's talk to the first of our Smash 4 guys. Craftis, how you doing?
Doing okay.
So, both of you guys have siblings in the game. Of course, maybe he's your cousin. Zero is your cousin, right?
No, I don't have any siblings.
No, but Zero, right?
No.
No?
I just have the same last name.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're not related.
All right, good. All right. No, but seriously, so last night you rolled up to the practice session we had. The IUB Smash guys, we were all playing. We were getting ready, and just I'm not saying we disrespected you. Like everyone treated you real good, but like there just seems to be just like ambient Sonic hate.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they can see your shirt
Yeah,
too.
they can't. I don't know if they can see my shirt. I mean, that's just general motto. Haters are gonna hate, so it's.
Haters gonna hate with like the Sonic eyes.
Yeah.
Like the Genesis, like angsty teenage Sonic eyes. So haters are gonna hate. How do you personally like deal with your character being hated on?
I mean, it doesn't really affect me too much because I don't know. I grew up playing Brawl when I was little, and I also entered tournaments for that. And Sonic wasn't really liked in that game either. Granted, my character wasn't very good in that game, so it didn't really affect me to like such a degree as now, where everyone says like, "Oh, Sonic's a top tier," and we just don't really like him because he plays really lame. But I feel like a lot of people don't look at what Sonics are actually doing. Like, yeah, we're just spinning, but there are other things going on around that. There's reasons for it, and I think a lot of people just they judge Sonic players at face value. They also don't look at the amount of work that we put in just to be able to do all of that. Because as much as they don't like the sound, I know some people who play him don't like the sound of spin dashes. So that can get very annoying when we have someone who doesn't understand the character trying to judge how we're playing. Specifically because a lot of the matchups that Sonic has to deal with, most of the time, if Sonic's playing lame, it's not because of his choice. It's usually his opponents. Because they don't want to get hit by Spin Dash, so they're usually shielding a lot. They're usually playing very evasive. So that puts a burden on us, because now it's like, okay, you don't want to engage us, so we're forced to play defensive, but then we get all the hate for it. So it's kind of one of those weird situations where everyone assumes that we're the people trying to camp, but we're actually just trying to play the game like everybody else. But for me, it's more so the fact that I choose to play aggressive, even though my character, a lot of people say, oh yeah, Sonic should be played defensive, you can just time people out, it's a lot easier doing that. I don't really think so. I feel like Sonic plays best when you're doing a mix, because then it confuses people. They start to think, okay, he's playing defensive here, and then all of a sudden I hit them with a burst of aggression, and it's like, well, all of a sudden now I went from like 20% to 100. What happened? And things like that. I like to play Sonic kind of against the grain.
So that's actually my next question. So like, what is your like your metric or like your deciding factor for like when you turn it on and when you decide to go aggressive with Sonic?
Usually game one is kind of like a feel-out game where I'm like, okay, what are my opponent's tendencies? When do they like to air dodge? What are their habits for their ledge options? How do they choose to recover? When do they decide to hit buttons and be aggressive? And after game one, that's when I usually turn on the aggression switch. And I'm like, okay, now that I've formulated a strategy on exactly how they're going to play around what I do, now I can pick them apart piece by piece, and that's when I start to be pulling out all the little fancy stuff that a lot of people like my play for, apparently.
Is there what's like the earliest you will ever turn it on for?
If I have someone downloaded like on their first stock, I'll do it the second stock, or however early I can do it. Unless I'm trying to keep something in my back pocket as like a last resort, and usually I'll like hold that till, say, if a game 5 scenario or like a game 3 in the case of 2 out of 3s. But I don't really like to show all my cards at once unless I'm sure that no matter what, even if I do throw all my cards out, I can still win the set. So.
Good, thanks. All right, next of our Rhode Island guys, Pugwest. All right. First question for you. I remember, well, first off, you've been playing Marth the whole time the game has been out, right?
Yep.
It was like, man, I feel like I remember like you and like Mr. E were like the two people playing Marth since like the very beginning, okay? Even when he was like low tier, all right? And even I think like your double showing in Genesis 3?
Yep.
Genesis 3 was like a big turning point, like the Marth meta. Talk to me about character loyalty, because you've like been with Marth the entire time he's like climbed up the tier list.
Character loyalty, in my opinion, was very important. It's still important now, even though the meta is kind of progressing towards a lot of counterpicking. I'm sure you guys have seen it at majors. A lot of top 8s, everyone's got like an answer for this character, that character. But back then, it was important because it helped me early on learn all of the matchups in the beginning. For example, like nobody back then would ever want to do Marth versus Diddy, Marth versus Sheik. It was horrendous. You couldn't do anything safely. So I also got blessed by patches. With Sakurai giving my character a lot of buffs. So because I also was loyal in the beginning and knew everything, like struggled through the bad, but still managed to beat some people, when I got the buffs, I really started to progress because just that extra boost just helped me a lot back then. So staying loyal to your character, not only to just determine matchups and figure out nitty-gritty things, is very important in my opinion.
It's good, good. Speaking of the meta, and okay, I know this isn't Twitter, this is real life, but it has to come up. Talk to me about Cloud and doubles.
He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Like, all right, double Cloud needs to go before we get rid of everything. It's just, I'm a doubles enthusiast. I love doubles, but like, it's just stale right now. If you don't have a Cloud on your team, now, I'm gonna be humble about it because I'm one of the few players that can get to top 8 without a Cloud, along with my partner because I need a good partner for that. But if you don't have a Cloud on your team, you basically always start with a disadvantage against one. Like, no matter what, you're just always losing in the beginning, unless you like gimp him instantly. And even then, it's a problem because he's just so good. He's so volatile. He's probably the only character, if I had to make a doubles tier list, that he's his own tier. He's just really, really strong.
All right, that sets me up like perfectly for a bonus question. Bonus question right now. Like, take 30 seconds, take a minute, sell me on doubles over singles. Go.
Doubles over singles. I feel like singles, although it is strictly skill, like one-on-one skill, I feel like doubles has a lot of synergy, which brings hype. And I love being able to play with like another person and start doing fancy combos or also winning matchups in doubles that I can't win in singles. So it just gives like a whole nother aspect of the game for me. And it makes the game funner because I enjoy being able to play a certain way or play with like my brother or one of my friends from my region and just being able to do well, get the crowd hype, make everybody excited. It's just, I love it. It's just a great time.
All right, so you mentioned your brother. I'll stay on you for a second because you mentioned your brother. You set me up perfectly. All right, so when he made his when Mars made his CEO entrance, he famously had the jeans on instead of the PJs, and he got carried. Now, yeah, you can see right now. You have jeans on. You're not in the PJs today. So if you were top-rated CEO, jeans aside, what would your entrance be?
My entrance?
Yeah, you know you got to do something crazy when you climb in the boxing ring.
I don't know what my entrance would be. It'd be so difficult because I never had the chance to think that out.
Think it out now.
All right. I'd probably wear pajamas.
Okay.
Just, I have to.
Stay true, man.
I have
True to
to.
self.
It'd probably either be an anime theme or it'd be Marth's theme from Awakening. So there's that. And I don't know. I'd probably find somebody that could loan me like a cosplay outfit or a cape. Just a cape. Just a cape and the little red badge. Just so I could walk in kind of Marth-esque.
Yeah. I can't help you. I only have the Ike cape. I don't have the blue Marth cape. No, good answer. And the Marth Awakening arrangement is very dramatic. All right, I'm going to skip back to La Luna here. I asked like a doubles metagame question. I'm going to get a little less serious and ask about another metagame I take it that you are pretty invested in. What are your like pro tips for the Mafia metagame?
Okay, so Mafia is pretty hard. I think you just have to have a naturally born talent in the sense of interacting with people. This is like outside of the game. So I feel like in Mafia, you need to be a wild card in the sense like people can't sense you or read you. And you always have to watch what you say because it can like provoke people to think of ideas that actually do not exist. Like when we play the game, we're not thinking some super high level meta. And Tafo said it perfectly. He's like, every time we think somebody is playing amazing, they're actually just thinking on base level. So it's like one time people was like, oh, what if they're hiding their power and we like double tap somebody? And that rarely ever happens. And the one time that it kind of did happen is when I made the decision to double tap SFAT. And then everybody was like, oh, they wouldn't double tap SFAT. That's useless. And I was like, yeah, that's why I did it. So sometimes you got to throw like a wrench in there, like do something that's just weird. And that's why I did that, because it was like, even Leffen said they wouldn't do that. And I was like, Yeah, that's why I got you. So sometimes you have to be like, you got to do ambiguous things or just unexpected. And then when I like to talk with people, I like to joke around and have fun, make the environment fun. Like I like playing the game. It's like I'm playing the game, but I'm not playing the game because I'm like, oh, I want to talk to these people, see how they think. That's how. And I worry about the viewers too when they play. Like there was a time where I didn't want to kill Mango yet. And they was like, yo, let's kill Mango. And I was like, no, don't kill him. But they didn't know why I was saying that. And I was like, if Mango dies, we lose like 10K viewers and stuff. And I was like, in the slightest way, he said, well, who voted for who? And then he was like, okay, I got some information. When he said that, I was like, he has to be cop. And I was like, but if I kill him now, we're going to lose viewership. So I said, let me keep him now. I know it's dangerous. It's like when you have an edge guard and you go, you know what? I want to help my teammate. And you may lose because of that. And then I was like, I'm going to keep Mango alive for one more play, even though we should kill him right now. I was like, don't kill him. It's like, why? It's like, trust me, just keep him alive. So sometimes, those are some of the perks you got to do is, like, be gutsy, try to keep some people alive so that people can be confused, like, well, you just like set a power roll. How come you're not dead? Because normally when somebody says a power roll, they kill them the next turn. And it's like you gave them the information they wanted. It's like if he said he was a Vigi or a cop, don't kill him, keep him alive. Because then they may think, well, how come you're still alive and you claimed you're cop? What if you're mafia just claiming cop and cop already died? So it's like, and if he stays alive, like more and more, they start to believe he's mafia. And then they'll vote him off, and then we kill somebody else. So we got two people in one, rather than one person, and then they divert the attention to the person that he claimed. So yeah, you gotta be tricky.
Dude, I feel like everyone's playing poker and you're over here playing chess. Oh, you're thinking about everything. Wow, that's even like a better answer than I thought I was gonna get. Oh man, amazing. Okay, from my guys from Rhode Island. All right. For both of you. This is for both of you, okay? So, probably the most famous person from Rhode Island, H.P. Lovecraft. If you guys were elder gods, if you were some sort of Lovecraftian monster, what would you look like? What would your power be?
I'd probably be some weird amalgamation of some type of dragon and lizard. Just because nobody likes lizards, but they love dragons.
And then what would you do?
I'd probably breathe sludge.
Ooh, like poison?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, nobody likes Sonic. He's pretty poisonous.
You're true to your main. You've become your main. In every way but physical, you are your main. Pug, same question.
I don't even what is the question? I don't understand.
Well, if you were a H.P. Lovecraft monster, shouts to Rhode Island.
What's that?
You know H.P. Lovecraft?
I don't know that.
Can you explain it for him? I thought he's like the most famous person from Providence ever, right?
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, people go to Providence to leave stuff on his
I've
grave.
heard of him before, but
He's like one of the founders of science fiction. He created all these monsters.
So I should just say what kind of monster I'd be?
Yes.
What powers?
Yeah.
All right. I love bearded dragons.
Okay.
So dragons are cool. Sorry, stealing your idea.
You can both be dragons. This is why you're a team.
Dragons, but elemental status, ice. I love ice. Ice
man.
powers are so cool.
So you'd be the ice dragon?
Yes.
I like that. Oh, man. Would you be like the same color as your Shine hoodie?
I mean, it's a nice color, but a little lighter.
Okay. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go. This is a question for all three of you. Okay? So I'm going to ask everyone at a time. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
Go first. Okay. So we asked this last year at the panel when we had Drug Fox and Rio. And we asked them, what is the one match that, sticks out in your mind forever? It'll be, the match that you, never forget. And the interesting thing is they, each answered it differently. So, Rio talked about when he upset Abadango. And Drug Fox talked about when he let PPMD reversed the 3-0 and he went up 2, and then PPMD won 3 straight, and he could hear his friend in the front row go you're such a failure, and he was the one thing he'll never, because after that he was just all right, I got close, now I'm getting good. So for each one of you, what is that one tournament match that you played that was a turning point for you that is like always going to stick with you?
I'd probably say my Shine 2016 set against Mr. E. Just because I had never made top 8 before, and it was on a big stage. I had been through losers bracket after getting sent there pretty early to someone who I didn't expect to be that good. But shout outs to Mr. Oatmeal. But I don't know. It was very surreal, honestly, because that was the first time I had actually had like a bunch of people cheering for me. I'm used to it from the people in my state, but at that point I had like everybody in the region cheering for me, and it was just a big motivational boost to just have everyone like supporting me, and I don't know. It was just a big achievement for me because I had been wanting to get top 8. I'd always been like, usually I'm like when everyone talks about New England, it's usually like they talk about Kool-Aid, they talk about Raffi, there's Light, there's Mars, there's Pugwest, but no one really talked much about me, mainly because I used Sonic, so they kind of just like I'm the person who's in the back or like the dark horse, so I really wanted to just like make a statement like I'm here, like. Just like how Manny says, it's me.
Yeah.
That's me, basically. I just wanted to make a statement and say that, like, don't forget about me, because if you forget about me, then you might find yourself not in the bracket anymore.
Yeah.
And not to discredit Mr. E, he's a really great guy, and I enjoy playing him a lot. But I had my eyes set on top 8. Unfortunately, if you get in my way, I have no choice but to cut you down.
Mm-hmm. That like brings up like my favorite part about Shine is that like it's translated from like traditional sports to esports, that Boston thing so well. We're just like Bruins, Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox especially. Just like we are like crazy. They're like crazy for basically their scene, and like any New England person in Shine is just like has like the whole like metaphorical green monster of Smash like shouting down the other guy.
The great thing that I feel like about Shine is that it's in our region, so you just get to feel that boost of that like motivational energy from everyone who like is in your scene. Because at that point, it doesn't matter whether you've beaten them in bracket 9 times out of 10, or if you dislike them or not. They're from your region, and you see them on the big stage, you're cheering for them. It's just a really different atmosphere compared to like our regionals or our locals where we're all butting heads at each other, even though obviously it's just for competition's sake. But I don't know, it's just a really special thing that I haven't really felt in too many other places.
Yeah, definitely. I even see that from home. Pug, you want to go next?
Sure. Probably the turning point for my career would have been EVO 2016. I think it was 2016. EVO 2016 is where I beat Tweak to get into top 32.
Yeah.
So that was like, it was Tweak's like up and coming. He was starting to do really well, and everyone's like, oh, Tweak. They like hyped him up. And at the time, I had played Tweak before, and our set count was 1-2 his favor. So I've had my experience with him before, but when I beat him at EVO, it was a whole nother story because it was EVO. Everybody, I remember Keitaro kept bugging me. He was like, you have to go to EVO. You, your brother, you have to go because it's the big tournament. Mm-hmm. So I went, I beat Tweak, I made top 32. My whole region exploded. I got so many messages. My Twitter, everybody got excited for me. I popped off, of course. It was great. It was definitely one of my favorite moments.
Man, okay. So like I'm taking from the two of you, your moments was like Boston, and when like Boston blew you up on Twitter, or like New England blew you up on Twitter. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Last but not least.
Okay, I would say the one event that actually put me in the game that I realized I think I could take it like pretty far to the next level. It was Zenith 2012 in June, and I was in a pool with PPMD, Swift Base, and a couple of other players. And I remember I came out as 4th seed. So I lost to like 3 people. I lost to PP, I lost to Swift, a very close battle, and I lost to somebody else. So it was round robin. So after that, I get out 4th seed, and they put me in a bracket, and I have to play Eggum. And now, people that don't know Eggum was the Fox player that he was one of like the pioneers that started doing shine out of shields. Like you touch his shield and he would shine you out of shield and reverse up smash. He was one of those Fox players that just knew how to shine up smash Marth back in the days. We never thought it was possible at the time. And I had to play him my first round. And some of my friends went to go get food and eat, and some of them stood. So I beat him, and this is when my name was given to me at the time at one point, and every time I got a tipper, all they kept saying was, "Ooh, the moon." And I was like, yo, I actually like this name. And it happened again. They kept saying it, "Ooh, the moon, though." So that was like one of my favorite moments, because I was like, wow, I won. It wasn't on stream because we had Chibo doing Clash tournaments, but that specific match wasn't on stream. So I always hold that memory, or hold that part. That's like one of my favorite parts. That was the first player I ever beat. And then like my bonus is when I was put on the map and people started to know who I was. I was known for the kid that just F-smash tippered Fox players. It was when I played Chillin' Dude at ROM 6 in 2013 of November. And I did a final hit. But it was, what made it funny was D1 and Prog's commentary. He was like, "Oh my God, Charles, Xavier, get out of my head." And I up-aired him, and I was going to do a different combo, but he didn't DI. So when I did it, I was like, "Oh, you're dead." And I just hit him with the Thundercats, and he just died, and everybody just went crazy. And that's when like everybody like knew who I was. So it was like 2012, Zenith put me on the map. Well, made me think I could do this, and then 2013 was like, all right, I'm gonna be put on the map. Like I want to play this game forever now.
That's like even that ROM's like a double header too, because like you got to like go back and hear D1 and Prague doing it in in the booth. Man, that's good. This is extremely out here. Okay, I got one more question for you. I went on a little bit of a deep dive. Okay, and so shouts to your budding acting career on Elementary. Okay, I saw that like when it was on Reddit like the week it came out.
I love my guy Jeffrey.
Yeah, so it's about Jeffrey. This question. So Jeffrey, is it Patrick? What's his name? Jeffrey King? Yeah. So your guy Jeffrey, the writer at Elementary, in an interview about you and DJ being on the show, said that he would like to see an esports sitcom. All right. Who do you want to see on the esports sitcom?
All right.
Pick like I don't know, 4 main characters in the esports sitcom.
And the esports, it could be anybody. Okay.
It can be anybody.
So this is just people that are big influence like to the community. I would want Anti. Like if I had to exclude myself, so these are my
sure
4 people.
If you must.
Yeah. So I would definitely want Anti because he has the Twitter game, and everybody just loves his personality. Then I would like let me see who else would I want. You just need Mango there because everybody loves me. That's actually my homeboy too.
Built an audience.
And he's actually really funny too. I would definitely put Zero in it because we need our native speaking. Like we need the translation. He need to speak Spanish for us and stuff. And also Zero is like really big in the scene too. And I'll say, last but not least, you need a villain. So we gotta have Leffen in it. Like 2 TSMs, 1 Immortal, and 1 C9. I think they will mesh well.
CBS, are you watching? Like greenlight this right now. I would. Oh man, I
that
would
would
like
be so
that.
sick.
And I love Anti and Zero interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Just in general is always funny.
Yeah.
And then of course Mango Leffen are like Mango Leffen. I always say are like Jamie and Brienne on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I love
like I want
that.
to see a road trip with the 2 of them, or just like walking through the forest, the 2 of them, the show. Oh wow. Yeah, green light that right away. Let's get a pilot. Let's get that filmed. All right. Good answers, everybody. Okay, thank you very much for our 2nd annual Kilroy panel with the pros. We're going to sign off. Thanks very much to Melee Everyday for getting the stream out there and for filming this. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Oh,
You want to plug anything?
yeah. Thank you to my fans, my friends, Louisiana University for flying us out. I actually appreciate it. Sometimes I don't think they'll want to fly me out. To my close homies, getting me involved into the game and stuff, and just to a new future. I guess the next upcoming year.
Raise a toast. All
Word.
right. Craftis, you got a plug? You got a shout out?
Just shout outs to everyone back home in New England, including, but most especially to Rhode Island, people back there, big supporters of both me and Pug, so as well as the Sonic community. I know I don't really interact with them too much, but I do care to try to push the character forward for everybody, try to change people's opinions that our character isn't as lame as a lot of people assume it is. So I'll just continue to try to keep doing what I'm doing. Hopefully it catches people's eyes.
I just want to point out when Craftis was playing Sonic Dittos last night, they kept saying "we" and like "our" to mean Sonic, and I thought that was solidarity. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's just like a habit of mine. I don't consider myself just one person when I play. So.
And last but not least, Pugwest.
Thank you to all my supporters. You guys mean the world to me. I definitely would not be here if it wasn't for people supporting me. Thank you for the event. You guys flying us out. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. And especially thank you to New England, because they definitely built me up to who I am.
All right, sounds great. And then I've been HeyDOM. I'm giving a shout out to Arjuna, and I'm giving a shout out to Smash at IUB. And we are going to leave you from Panel at the Pros. Stay tuned for Melee Bracket after a short break. Thanks.